You hate your singing voice. That's just not right. We're going to deal with it right now. My name is Keith Harris, this is Keith's Keys, and thank you for joining me here today. I really appreciate you taking the time to check out my channel and watch my videos. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel and put a thumbs up if you like it. Leave a comment in the section below or ask a question, and I'm always happy to respond. So today, we're dealing with I hate the sound of my voice or I hate my voice. What can I do about that? That's just not right, and we're going to deal with it right now. The first thing you have to know is that every voice, every single voice, is as individual as a fingerprint, right? How do I know this? You pick up the phone and somebody who you know just says, "Hi." You immediately say, "Hi, so-and-so, I know who this is." Why? Because that voice is so individual. You know that the moment you hear a sound out of their mouth, who that is. That's what makes your voice unique. And that's the first thing you want to know. Our voice is capable of doing so many different things. It's the sound of the human condition. If someone punches your head, you immediately make a sound. So it's the sound of the human spirit. It's the sound of our emotional state of being. It's what makes you unique. So the first thing you have to do is know that and own that and be proud of that. Your voice is unique. Secondly, let's talk about building the voice and working with a voice teacher. If you work in my studio, I always tell my students, working with a voice teacher is like working with a trainer at the gym. I'm not just going to show you what exercises to do. I'm not going to say, okay, do 10 push-ups and I'll write it down on a list and okay, go away and go do those. No, I'm going to say do 10 push-ups and I'm going to watch you do those 10 push-ups and make sure that your technique is perfect. We're going to work out together. Why? Because this is a muscle and it needs to be developed like any other muscle in the body, and it will respond to exercise. So you say, "Oh, I've got a flabby gut, need to go to the gym, work it off." People can do that. They can lose weight, they can change their eating habits, they can even develop maybe a six-pack, all kinds of things. The voice can be the same thing. You say, "Well, I don't have a good range, I don't have, I can't tell you how many male singers I've worked with that could not sing a single falsetto note, that now have a very good and comfortable falsetto. Why? Because it's part of exercise. Let's say you can't bend over and touch your toes. You say, "Well, I'm not a flexible person." Well, if you try every day, eventually you will touch your toes. Your legs will continue to stretch. They'll get a little better, a little better, a little better. Now, will you become a ballerina? No, probably not, but you will improve. And the voice is the same thing. And it's really important to understand that, the kind of work that goes in, and the process of the work that goes in, and what a voice teacher can do to help that. What I really love about practicing is that you can't give it back, right? I know some people don't like exercise, or some people, I have days I don't feel like practicing. I think, well, I don't want to sing today. But I always do, because I know that when I'm done, I can't give it back. I know that if I go on a long run and I exercise my body that way and I get my lungs ready for a performance, I can't give it back. The body's gone through that exercise. It has now that new level of exercise. And sometimes that alone is a good motivator to practice or to do some work, because you know it's going to pay off. And finally, let's talk about, why do you have negative thoughts about your voice? Where does that come from? Is it because you just don't like the sound of your voice? You think it sounds weird or feels weird? Is it because when you listen to a recording, you say, "Oh my God, is that my voice?" I mean, trust me, nobody likes recordings of their voices, even me, all right? I hear recordings and I think, oh man, and especially if you've never recorded your voice, the first time you ever hear your voice, you definitely are going to freak out. So maybe you've heard your voice, you think it sounds weird. Maybe when you were a kid, you were told, not so much out of you. Or maybe you were told you have an ugly voice. Or maybe you're comparing yourself to others, right? And I'm not talking about the obvious ones. I'm not saying you're comparing yourself to the famous singers. Maybe you're comparing yourself to somebody closer to you. A colleague, a friend, someone in your family. You say, I can't do this. Listen to how so-and-so sings. Or so-and-so's so good. Or someone's accomplished so much. If you like to sing, then sing. And remember, that your voice is as individual as a fingerprint. Some of the best technical singers in the world are not famous, and some of the most famous singers in the world are not the best technical singers. The most famous singers in the world are those that are the best at telling compelling stories. They're the ones that really move people. They're the ones who have mastered what or why their voice is unique, and they use it to move people. They use it to tell their story. That is what you want to find. That is what voice lessons are all about. It's releasing who you are to tell the most compelling story. It's when you can hold a room, a complete room of people, spellbound, not for perfect voice, not for perfect sound. Maybe we always want to work to make our technique better. But ultimately, the best performers, we don't even notice their technique. Maybe their technique's not even perfect. It doesn't need to be. Because if I walk out of a performance crying or with goosebumps all over my arm, that was the perfect performance. And that's really what it's all about. And that is what you're looking for and why you want to learn to express with your voice. And probably will even lead you to like your voice. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please give my video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if I can help you, please email me, keithharristraining@gmail.com.